What if I told you that the very things you believe you need to feel alive are the same things quietly draining your strength? That the emptiness you feel when someone doesn't answer, doesn't notice you, doesn't acknowledge your worth, isn't a flaw in them. It's a sign of how much you've tied your happiness to the world outside yourself. This isn't random. It's a form of emotional addiction. And the cruel thing about it is that it doesn't shatter you all at once. It erodes you in whispers. In every moment, you wait for a reply that never comes. In every glance that passes over you. In every small absence that feels like a wound. Carl Jung saw it clearly. No one is truly free until they master themselves. NTHAT mastery begins the moment you take back ownership of your inner world. When you stop giving control of your peace to things you cannot command. When you no longer chain your emotions to what doesn't belong to you. Feeling whole without needing anyone's approval isn't pride. It's liberation. It's looking around and saying, nothing here defines me. Nothing here has the power to undo me, because the one who depends on another for peace has already surrendered the battle. And it's a battle you lose slowly. You lose it each time you wait for someone to choose you, to confirm your worth, to make you feel seen. While you wait, your power fades, and you become a mirror for the world instead of a life of your own. NTHE truth is, the goal isn't to chase validation, it's to stop needing it altogether. Because the moment you no longer need it, something inside shifts. Your emotions no longer swing on someone else's rope. You decide how you feel. And when you decide, everything changes. This doesn't mean cutting yourself off or closing your heart. It means you can love without surrendering the keys to your well-being. It means you can connect without losing yourself. It means the roots of your peace stay planted in your own soil. Many mistake this for coldness, but Jung never spoke of coldness. He spoke of firmness. The kind that keeps you steady, no matter how rough the waves outside become. Wholeness isn't about having everything you desire. It's about not needing everything you desire. It's being able to say, I'm okay even if they never call. I'm at peace even if they never understand. I will stand even if no one stands with me. That's when the real transformation begins, when the world no longer has the power to push you in directions you never chose. And when you act from clarity, not from pride, you protect the one thing that should never be on the bargaining table, your well-being. You weren't born to exhaust yourself just to keep others comfortable. You weren't born to beg for love, space, or acknowledgement. You were born to belong to yourself so fully that nothing and no one can take from you what you never handed over. Jung often reminded us that there are only two things we can truly control: our actions and our reactions. Everything else lives outside our reach. Clinging to what you cannot control is handing the steering wheel of your life to someone else. Taking it back means saying, this isn't mine to carry. This doesn't decide my worth. This will not break me. And when that shift happens, your scattered energy returns to you. Your mind loosens its knots. Your soul finds its rhythm again. You realize you don't need more. You need less. Less craving, less chasing, less noise in the center of your being. Because your center is no longer out there. It's here, inside you, untouchable. When you release the need to please, the world will greet you with silence at first. An unsettling silence, because the constant noise of validation once filled your days. But that silence is where your true peace is built. It's not dramatic. It's not loud. It's steady, unshakable, and deeply alive. It's knowing you can be alone without feeling abandoned. It's standing in your worth, even when no one notices. Yes, connect with people. Yes, build circles of support. But never let it be a mask to hide the fact that you've never learned to stand in a room with yourself and feel complete. The danger isn't being alone. The danger is needing the world to fill your emptiness. Because the free soul, Jung said, is the one who can look at what is beyond its control and still remain whole. Nothing is further from your control than the words, actions, and feelings of another person. If you make those the center of your life, you'll live in ruins. True emotional freedom begins the moment you stop saying, they made me feel this way, and start saying, I allowed myself to feel this way. It's not about blame. It's about taking back the steering wheel of your inner world. What happens outside you matters far less than what you decide to do with it inside. That decision is made moment by moment, when a reply doesn't come, when your effort is ignored, when someone turns away. In those moments you choose, will I crumble or will I hold? Will I react blindly or will I breathe and remain steady? Because everything external is unstable. Love, attention, recognition. Here one day, gone the next. Today they applaud you. Tomorrow they forget you exist. If your peace depends on that, your life becomes an endless emotional swing, never steady, never safe. But when your stability comes from within, the noise outside doesn't matter. You carry a place inside you that nothing can touch, a refuge where chaos cannot reach. That is your real strength. And this isn't coldness, it's maturity. It's having endured enough to know what is no longer worth your energy. It's keeping your heart open but not unguarded. It's giving without emptying yourself, loving without losing yourself. Jung called self-discipline freedom, because those who do not master themselves are mastered by everything around them. Without that mastery, you live chained to impulse, and an impulsive life is never a free life. You weren't born to respond to every spark. You were born to choose, to create, to build. That means creating space between yourself and what drains you. It means ending the habit of replying just because. It means refusing to seek approval from people still lost in their own confusion. This is not isolation, it's clarity. NNOT, everything that shines is real companionship. Not all attention is love. Not every word is connection. Learning to filter isn't cold, it's wisdom. It's knowing you have the right to decide what enters your life and what stays out. And once you have that, solitude stops feeling like a sentence. It becomes fertile ground, space to see yourself clearly, to rebuild, to breathe. From that place, you can connect without chains, love without need, give without depletion. That's what Jung wanted to reveal, that your life is not defined by what others give you, but by what you choose to create within yourself. The less you depend, the less you suffer. And the less you suffer, the more you truly live, because all of you returns to you. One of the most powerful truths you can accept is that not everyone will celebrate your independence. Some will resent it. When you stop depending, you stop being useful to those who thrive on your neediness. Your stability disrupts their script. They expect you to explain why you've changed, to apologize for protecting your peace, to seek permission before you walk away. But you are not here to follow their script. You are here to write your own. Hoes who truly value you don't need an explanation for your silence. They understand it. And if they don't, they are not meant to stand close. Freedom comes when you abandon the illusion that you can control how others see you, think of you, or react to you. Letting go of that is an act of self-love. And in that act, you stop wasting energy trying to change the unchangeable. Instead of chasing attention, you nurture your own spirit. Instead of begging for acceptance, you give it to yourself without condition. That changes everything. Your presence becomes whole. Your relationships shift from hunger to abundance, from dependency to reciprocity. What is false cannot survive in the light of that clarity. NNOT. Everyone will know what to do with someone who doesn't need saving, who gives without expecting, who chooses to stay only out of fullness, never out of lack. Most people confuse need with love, and when you arrive without need, it unsettles them. Wholeness changes the entire dynamic. You no longer hunt for something to fill the empty spaces, no longer beg to be completed. You are complete. And from that place, you can give without losing yourself, share without depleting yourself, build without breaking your own foundation. Being at peace with yourself will always be enough, because the truth is harsh but simple. If you cannot bring yourself joy, no one else will ever manage it for you. If your freedom depends on someone else, it will never be real. Only when you can sit in your own company and feel whole will you be untouchable. NTHE, hardest part isn't the absence of others. It's letting go of the version of yourself that believed you needed them to survive. The version that settled for emotional scraps, mistook attention for love, clung to something harmful because the thought of nothing at all felt worse. But once you let that self go, a raw, almost frightening freedom opens up. There's no one left to blame, no one to wait for, no one to hold accountable for your moods. Just you. And that is where the real inner work begins, not in theories or books, but in the daily discipline of living without attachment, watching your own mind, refusing to be pulled into every emotional current, standing still when everything tries to shake you. When you succeed, the unnecessary fades away. What is real stays. You stop vibrating from need and start living from choice. The emptiness dissolves, replaced by a steady fullness. The pain of loss still stings, but it no longer drowns you. It redirects you. Every time you choose peace over validation, you win. Every time you answer with silence instead of reaction, you grow. Every time you stay with yourself instead of running to someone else out of habit, you heal. Life becomes an act of self-respect. You're no longer twisting yourself to be loved. You're loving yourself enough to stop the betrayal of your own soul. Detachment, as Jung saw it, wasn't about becoming cold. It was about protecting yourself from what you cannot control. And clinging to the unstable gains you nothing. It only drains you, fragments you, leaves you vulnerable to manipulation. The world feeds on the dependent, on those who believe they need everything but themselves. But you are walking another path. You're building from the inside out. You're steady even when a message is ignored, even when someone walks away, even when criticism lands at your feet. That makes you rare, because you no longer trade your peace for approval. Now you have boundaries, standards, an inner compass that doesn't spin wildly with every gust of wind. People will say you've changed, and they'll be right. You've traded need for choice, restlessness for clarity, anxiety for calm, and you don't need to announce it. It shows in how you live. Feeling good without needing anyone isn't isolation. It's deep connection with yourself. It's choosing relationships because they enrich your life, not because they patch your wounds. It might ache at first, but eventually it feels like home. You walk calmly not because the world outside is perfect, but because the world inside is in order. There comes a moment when you understand no one is coming to save you, and far from being tragic, it's liberating. You stop expecting someone else to fill the hollow spaces and realize you've had the tools all along. That hurts at first, but it's the kind of pain that frees you. You stop building your worth on someone's love or approval and start building it on your ability to hold yourself steady when the world is silent. And in that silence, you finally hear yourself. You see that you were never weak, just disconnected from your own center. What you searched for outside was always living within you. This doesn't make you closed off. It makes you abundant, capable of choosing from fullness instead of desperation. Then when you live this way, you protect your energy like the treasure it is. You stop handing it to anyone who asks. You understand that sometimes losing relationships, opportunities, or approval is simply the price of gaining inner freedom. When you see it that way, you stop mourning what leaves and start honoring what stays, your center, your clarity, your calm. This doesn't make you above others, but it makes you unshakable. Those who don't depend can't be manipulated. Those who are whole can't be broken just to belong. Emotional dependence isn't destroyed by running away. It's dismantled by choosing yourself again and again, even when it would be easier to slip back into old habits. It's a quiet rebellion, a steady practice, an act of self-love in every breath. You stop reacting to everything. You stop chasing what doesn't flow. You stop accepting pain just to avoid solitude, because now your own company is enough. And that changes everything. You begin attracting not from need, but from presence. People feel it in the way you move, in the way you answer, in the way you remain unshaken. Your calm carries the weight of battles no one saw you fight. Jung never promised a life without pain, only one rich with meaning, even in the pain. And that's what you are building now, a life you inhabit fully, where everything else is simply extra. And one day you'll realize you no longer measure your worth by who stays, who calls, who approves. You measure it by how well you can stand alone. And in that moment you'll know you were never truly alone. Your soul was always there, quietly waiting for you to return.